Hello and welcome to HRL Season 13. Calling this the Quarantine Series because there's not really a better name for it. It's like a combo series. A lot of action here. A lot of different types of tracks. We've got go-karts, ovals, as you can see here, TRS, and arena cross as well. And we're going to see all of them being raced today. The track that you're looking at right now is not only an oval but also a TRS. The TRS is on the inside of the track. We'll go through that layout when we get to it, but you can see the oval layout. More of a wide track than usual. And an interesting layout. Like, honestly, a pretty well-balanced layout. Like, you can run kind of anything here, and there's definitely, like, a preferred line, but I don't know. You can, like, compete with passes and stuff on pretty much any line, so pretty interesting track. Has, like, kind of a good mold of classic Halo, what a classic Halo oval would be like, and what a Halo 5 oval is. So I don't know, interesting track. Pretty quick corners, but very wide track overall, and pretty long too as far as like some of the ovals that we race go. I think we're only doing like 40 laps in this one for the full race. But let's take a look at the heat results, and it is 40 laps for the full race. And it looks like winning our heats, Fireball taking heat 1 and Slaunch taking heat 2. I'm just going to go for the heat winners for these videos. So if I don't know, if you want to see the full results, the docs in the description or whatever. So we're going to see them on the front row. We go down the rest of it, figure out the rest of the heat order off of that. We have Budrow there starting in 3rd, making his rookie debut in HRL. Right, I said in HRL. Armada 4th, Roman 5th, Luke 6th, Hunter 7th, Opix 8th, Shift 9th, Puma 10th, and Sector 701, where the hood at, coming in with the hot 11th place starting spot. Definitely going to look for him to just blast by the entire field right here, preferably with a Glock in his right hand, tilted sideways, annihilating the pack, and just taking the win here. Green flag, 40 laps at Skellige. This is a triple header to start off the season for the Quarantine Series, and it's also going to be a tournament. We're going to have the interspersed tournaments again. There will be 2 triple header tournaments pretty early on, which is going to get pretty crazy. I got to watch out for these damn trees on this track. I might even go on board for some of this. But yeah, so we're starting off with the first one here. I don't know if I have an official name for it, but I'm just calling it like the Witcher Trio because that's like all the track names. And we're on the Skellige Complex, Skellige Speedway, and the complex as a whole. And yeah, that's pretty much why it's called that. The next, what the hell? So someone just lagged. I think that was Budrow, like really hard. So we'll probably have a caution coming out here soon. I'm gonna skip ahead because this stuff doesn't really matter too much because there should be a caution here. But yeah, he lagged really hard. Tough way to start the race. Gonna have to start in the way back. If that was, yeah, it looks like it was him. So he's going to have to start way back here, but, you know, unfortunate, but at least it was really early on. That's the best time you could hope for that to happen, so could be worse. We have a solid showing today, good field, should be fun. And we're racing this, we're racing that TRS in the infield, and we're also racing Vizima Arena Cross, which is a very conky arena cross. Looking forward to that one as well. This is honestly the cleanest track. This oval is by far the cleanest track of all that we are racing tonight. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. Oval's back. TRS coming back on Halo 5. Green flag here. And we'll get some arena cross action for the first time in a while. So at the way back of the pack here. Up front, it looks like Slaunch is holding on to the lead right now. But as you can see, pretty good battles all throughout. Some solid 3 wides here. Might be Fireball contesting for the lead here. And yeah, this track is, again, it's interesting because like the main line feels closer to what like a Halo Reach or something like that, Halo 4 oval main line would be. But it's also got the cushion, which is actually not the preferred line in this track, but it does have some speed. Like there is some utility to the cushion. So, and all the lines are honestly pretty solid. Like if you try to make passes on this track, it can be pretty difficult. Because the middle can even work some speed. You get those, like, look at the run on the cushion. There was that shift back there. Like, even if you lose a lot of position on the track, you get a fat run off the cushion. So, like, every line has its purpose on this track. And, yeah, it's a little bit different. Mixing it up here. It's a nice 3-wide battle here between Roman, Luke, and Opix. And then Slanch still has a pretty nice lead. Opix going to slide down off the cushion run. There you go. You can see the use in it right there. And that's Armada, who's running really quick so far. Trying to have a strong debut to the season. And, you know, maybe looking to take that win. A lot of drivers. New format this season. So, playoff format. And you can, again, like, win and you're in. So, a lot of these mid-pack driver... I told you I need to go to sleep. Drivers that don't have a lot of experience with winning and tend to not win a lot. They have a lot of opportunities. They have 16 motos before the playoffs start to try to get one. Plenty of chances, and you know, if they could steal one, that's pretty good. Like, that's probably guaranteed in. If they steal two, I'd be willing to say, like, technically you wouldn't be. I mean, think about it. There's 16 motos. What, is everybody going to win 2 motos? Like, is that going to happen? I don't think so. I mean, you'd be guaranteed in anyways, right? So you win 2 motos, you're in the playoffs, and I think a lot of these mid-pack drivers are going to be trying to do something like that this time around. And there's, again, a lot of opportunities. TRS tracks are, like, ovals are pretty competitive. I think ovals, you know, I think a lot of the time in the past with ovals, we're going to get up to, I think Fireball took the lead there. I was going off on a rant. Armada's got a pretty good perspective here. But especially in the past, like, ovals, a lot of talk about ovals not being as competitive or not as much of a skill gap. But I'd say, like, the oval seasons and recent oval races have proved that to be completely wrong. Like, it's become pretty consistent. Like, the top oval drivers are very consistent, and every once in a while, you know, you'll have a driver that's not as consistent finish up in that podium on an oval. But for the most part, I would say that the fast drivers on ovals are pretty consistent. They put in consistent performances, and you know what to expect from which drivers and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a pretty balanced schedule. The easiest track type for sure for someone to get an upset on has to be TRS, because there's so many damn variables. But at the same time, TRS, all about putting yourself, it's just like any other track, any other racing type, it's all about putting yourself in a good position. And if you put yourself in a good position, you might get some good fortune and be able to steal a win in some cases. You might have some bad fortune, hit a bad collision and lose some spots. But at the end of the day, in TRS, with the collisions and all that cheese, all you can do is focus on your own race, run as fast as you can, and that's all you can really do. We're going to hit the halfway point of this moto here, and a very clean moto so far. And as you can see back there, those guys, let's take a look. So it's Fireball, Slaunch, Armada, and Luke is in 4th, and look at how far that top 3, like the battling back here, look at how far those guys have stretched it. It is absolutely ridiculous at this point. So this is Luke in 4th, Roman in 5th, and he's got a nice gap there. But behind him is Puma in 6th, Opix 7th, and Budro 8th, and this is a good battle here. We got 3 drivers that could really go at it here. 4, really. I mean, this is a good 4-way pack right here. All single wide right now, but as soon as somebody gets a run, it could get insane. Can one of the mods change the stream title, please, to, like, race review or something like that? I think you have the ability to do that. I don't know. But yeah, a little past the... Oh, Opix's laps are way off. What the hell? A little past the halfway point here. And it's starting to separate a little bit. But the top 3... Look up there. The top 3 is still really close. Armada has honestly been catching up to Slaunch, and he's been having a really good run, but he needs to try to make the pass. Passes are difficult on this track. And Fireball has been stretching that gap. He's looking to have a decent amount of speed here. And then in this mid-pack, it is just like 2 double-wide battles here. Puma. Oh! Puma just straight up... Oh, Roman's pissed. You could hear the honks. Puma just pretty much cleared him out in the wall right there. No other way to put it. Unfortunate for Roman. But that is going to give him a pretty big gap, and now he's going to stretch out, especially with Budro and Opix in a pretty good battle here. But on the bright side for Roman, I mean, he has a chance to recover those positions if he runs good laps right here, if Budro and Opix keep battling like they are. And they are battling. They're going at it. It's good racing right here. Bruh. Pretty sure you could change the title. Hold on, this is probably wrong. Yeah, that ain't it. This is just edit title. Alright guys, enjoy the racing. I'm trolling. It's way simpler than I made it. Nice. Alright. Oh shit, let's take a look at the laps here. There we go. So Fireball, I'm going to assume his lap count is right. He's lapping Atlantic champ here. And I'm going to assume his lap count is correct. He's going to be going 32, which means there's going to be 8 laps to go. I don't know how he's missed so many checkpoints. But as you can see, Fireball's had a really strong run up front, and he's stretched away from these guys. But Slaunch and Armada are pretty closely contested, and Armada had to get this gap to Slaunch, but now that he's gotten it, he can't get by him, and he's just kind of like running really competitively with him. It's going to be tough to open up a move here. And maybe it's like some greed too. You know, if something happens to Fireball with a lapper or something, if he stays clean with Slaunch right here, they can make gains together, and you know, maybe he'll have an opportunity if they catch up, if they get in that situation. Plus, another thing to factor in, and this is always like something to factor in, is what if there's a caution? You know, if there's a caution, you probably would want the inside on this track. Armada would be starting in that 3rd place spot or right behind Fireball, so maybe he's content with this 3rd for now, but trying to keep the gap close so he can, you know, go for the position at the end. I'm probably making all this shit up. He's probably not thinking about any of this, but you know, we're just going to go with that. So 4 laps to go this time by for Fireball. 40 lap race. Math is hard. And is that... So it looks like Luke has now stretched the gap on the rest of the top 5. But the rest of the top 5 is just... Look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous. They are right here. This is the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. A lot of good points here. You got to remember, tournament format. Bonus points at play. Should we do top 3? We should probably do top 3 like we did before. Could even do, you know, it'd be funny. We could do NASCAR stage. We could do top 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Anyways, 2 double wide battles here. And this is incredible. We could have some photo finishes here. I got to get an update on this lap count. So Fireball hitting the white flag here, and we'll try to watch everything that we can because those guys are going to duke it out all the way to the end. So Fireball hitting the white flag. He's coming around. Turn 1 and 2 just needs to make it one more corner. Lappers in front of him, but the track seems to be pretty clear for him. And here he comes. Turns 3 and 4 to the line. Fireball taking the opening race here at Skellige. Slaunch will hold on to that 2nd. Armada 3rd. Luke in 4th. And 5th place will wind up being Opix. They settled it out at the end. Roman comes back to 6th. Puma 7th. Budro 8th. What is that? Hunter 9th. Shift 10th. Sector 11th. And a lot of like separate packs. Like you look, that backpack was pretty close. Those guys were top 5. Like the lappers were close. The only 2 people that were like on, or the only 3 people that were like on an island were like Fireball, Luke, and Atlantic. Those are like the only drivers that were on an island that race. Everybody else was just with someone, had some battle partners. So not bad. So Fireball with a strong start. Can he make it happen again? Remember last season, the sweep season. We'll see if we see anything like that again here in this season. Gonna invert that starting order for Moto 2. And it's going to be Atlantic Champ and Sector leading down the field. And this will get pretty interesting here. And green flag. Interesting restart. Not too great for any line, not too bad for any line. It's kind of different throughout the field, to be honest. Some parts of the field got a good start, some parts didn't. You look, there's already a pretty nice defined gap right there. The mid-pack. A lot of those fast drivers in the back going to try to make their way up front as fast as they possibly can. And look at this battling we got going on right here. This is amazing. We're going to go on board the winner of Moto 1 Fireball, and he's doing something that you're not going to see all the time. He's trying to make the cushion work here, and he gets a run. I mean, if they're battling, he's going to get a run. That's the thing with the cushion. If they're able to run the main line, you probably won't get a get a run, but if you have drivers in front of you battling, hell yeah, if you're on the cushion behind them, you probably will make gains. And then you just got to take advantage of it. And there's a big move. Fireball going to get some hefty positions there and try to go on the inside of Luke here, but also tries to get on the inside of Shift, and that slows him up a little bit. Got a little hit on his left rear tire. Oh, that's going to get close. Nice 3-wide battle here. And also a 2-wide battle for second. And Hunter's holding onto the lead here. And this 3-wide is catching up to these guys up front. Oh, the fat second gear out of Luke. That was a really rough one. Or it's a caution. I think it was both, but still. So we're going to get this race line back up. Pretty early on in this one, only like a couple laps completed. Let's take a look. Whoops. Yeah, maybe, yeah, like that's what I was thinking, like 5 laps. So another 34 to go at the line, potentially. Fireball's laps are correct, which I think they are. Let's get a good mid-pack. Let's like get on board with Slaunch or something. Let's get a good mid-pack view here for the restart. Green flag. All right. 3 wides. Almost like 4 wide right there. Fireball going for those cushion runs on the restarts. It's giving him that momentum, but that driver on the inside right there, Sector, was beating and banging. He was not letting that happen and is contesting, letting Fireball know that he's there, and he is not trying to get past easily. And Sector, if he can keep this line going, no, it's just he went way too far inside right there. Maybe could have had a run on Hunter, but not going to happen. And there it is, Fireball with the big run. Can he get all the way to Hunter? Not quite. Hunter's going to swoop down, run that line. We have a nice 3-wide battle here too, and a 3-wide battle behind us in that view as well. Lots of pack action on this track, especially on these restarts. And again, it's tough because the lines are, again, for the most part, like pretty even or like close enough to where battling just gets insane. Hefty second gear right there. And that's going to pack everyone up a little bit. Oh, Hunter goes down, dismounts. And let's get a review of that one. A little replay. See what happened to Hunter there. See a flip on the track. And he was in the lead. He just runs it too hard on the cushion, trying to hold on to the lead. And goes down. Unfortunate. He's going to have to go all the way to the back. That's unfortunate for him. Tough break. He's having a really good run, and he was still competing for that lead, and he was just competing so hard he lost it. He's going around an extra time here. All right, so we're going to go on board with Roman here and get things going for another restart. I don't know what Puma was trying to do. Green flag. Three wides up front. Shift a little loose on the cushion. Slaunch trying to make it work outside up there. Got a pretty good view of like everything on the track. 3 wides throughout. And it looks like Fireball will get that lead back, and this could be dangerous for the rest of the pack because he got it last moto. He ran away with it, but there's still a lot of drivers really close behind him. They just need to try to get a tire down if they can. But at the same time, they're all battling with each other too. It's going to be hard to do. And this is some incredible pack racing right now. Look at this. This is actually ridiculous. And Fireball hasn't gotten away yet. Yeah, this is some fantastic pack racing at the moment. Wow, tough hit there. Roman coming up inside on shift. And Atlantic tried to go for like a balls to the wall move right there. Does not pay off. He's going to lose a lot of time right there. Let's get up in this lead pack right here. We're going to go on board with Sector, who's still competing. Now it's singled out a little bit. We have Slaunch and Armada and Luke pretty close for 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there. It's Fireball and Budrow 1st and 2nd. And Sector and Opix going after this 6th place spot right here. which could be big points. And again, with the win and you're in thing, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some drivers with TRS and Arena Cross even and ovals, like just crazy racetrack types that could force out some unexpected wins. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of those this season, or maybe even a few. It's been a while since we've had like a big oval upset, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. The tracks that we have in the schedule, it's bound to happen. It's like they're starting to fall off the pace here. I'm going to go back on board with Armada and Slaunch, just resuming their battle from the other moto. Fireball and Budrow up front. And Budrow's doing a really good job so far, keeping up with them. Not letting him get away. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like the field as a whole has improved a bit from the first moto and is starting to figure out the track a bit more. And Slaunch is going to fall in here. Let Armada have the spot. Maybe try to fight back if he can. But line back up because we're just hitting like the halfway point of the moto right here. There's still a lot of time left to make moves. Could always be another caution too. You never know. Someone gets a bad cushion run, gets a dismount, can completely throw the race off course. So never know. It's Moto 2. So we have a battle back here. That's Hunter and Roman. Roman had a pretty fat run. Off the cushion, maybe. It's kind of what it looked like. We saw the end of it. And the unfortunate thing here is they're just kind of competing for this last spot. You know, if there's not a caution, I mean, look at that gap. It's going to be really hard for them to just make this up. I mean, yeah, this looks ridiculous. Yeah, Roman, winner of last season's championship, trying to carry that momentum here into this season. And what do you have in the first moto? Like a top 5? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Yeah, 6th. And he's running like an 8th or 9th right here, so it's kind of tough for him. This, especially because it was an oval season last season, not the starting performance here that you expect out of Roman on the oval track. But this is a tough track, and it's a very clean track too. Looks like we have some things mixing up here up front. I mean, look at this. Fireball's gotten away, and mostly because, or partially because, everybody is battling back here. Like, it was really close, and Budrow had a chance to close the gap, and I think he made a slight mistake and allowed Luke to go for it. And then after that, these guys are just going to battle all the way. And if you can just run that clean line, Fireball's just probably going to make gains and gains here. So it's going to be really tough to catch that unless there's a caution or some lapper incident. So it's Luke 2nd, Budrow 3rd, Armada 4th, Slaunch 5th, and Opix 6th right here. It's the lineup of this pack, and you have Justin just outside of it right there. If he sticks with it, could enter. I mean, he's honestly doing not a bad job keeping up right now. And it looks like we have Budrow opening up the inside on Luke. Potential battle there for 2nd. And if they battle, that could open up Armada, who's not that far behind. And if they battle, if he battles, that could open it up for Slaunch, and it could just domino here. So Fireball has a pretty strong look at the sweep here, but this 2nd place battle is ridiculous. And like the podium spot, all this stuff is up for grabs, and this is big points here still. And look at it, it's happening. Let's get an on board with Slaunch here. 7 laps to go. If his markers, it says 1, so I think his marker's correct. So 7 laps to go. These motos are flying by. Clean motos here. This is a cleaner track, though. I said that in the beginning. This is a cleaner track. And this is going to get interesting here. Luke opting to go done battling with Budrow. He's going to start running the cushion and try to make something happen. He's going to lose a lot of ground in the corners. Shoots out. Armada almost getting him in the wall there. That got pretty close, but he's going to bring him, drag the momentum back to make it a 3 wide with Budrow. And now Slaunch is here too. And Opix and Sector. Sector actually looks like he caught up to Opix a little bit, so this whole pack, this could legitimately be like a 6-way battle for 2nd here with just a few laps left in the moto. Imagine if this was the lead. This would be ridiculous. And look at how much Fireball is getting away because of these, like, the 4 wide. It's just, they're not going to be gaining time. This is ridiculous. It's going to be 3 to go this time by, and Slaunch could be the beneficiary here. And Budrow losing out the worst. He's back to 5th now. And he was in 2nd earlier in this run. But he's making a good showing for his first HRL. I said it, damn it. First HRL showing. Making a pretty good showing here. And it's going to be 2 to go. This time by Fireball with the strong lead. But look at this. I mean, these podium spots and then Sector's working the inside on Opix. Like, there's a lot of stuff up for grabs here. Let's get a shot of the line. Fireball taking the white flag, going for another sweep here at Skellige, trying to keep that streak alive. Going through 3 and 4 on the cushion. Clean track. Doesn't have to worry about anything. Takes it. Who's going to get second? Real close. And it looks like Luke gets it. And I think Armada gets it as well for 4th. And then I didn't see Opix and Sector. That was pretty close too. Let's take a look at a replay of that last lap from like Opix's perspective or something so we can get everything. Because this is just insane for everyone. Is this 38? Okay, so we're going into the white flag. So we're going into the white flag right here, and look at this. Look at this. Everybody with their position in jeopardy right here. I mean, even Opix's position isn't technically safe, and it's just really close up there between Luke and Slanch and Armada and Budrow, just going for those points, getting what they can. And look at the drives here for these guys. Look at this. Yeah, let's go to like right here. But look at this for both of these battles right here. Into the corner, and Slanch and Luke are even. Budrow and Armada are even exiting, but both of the outside drivers win the photo finish. They get that run off the corner, and the inside drivers went for it. And maybe a couple more laps, things could have got really interesting, but those outside drivers had the momentum there, and they were able to hold on to their spots. Oh boy, am I excited for next race. That was not a bad oval race by any means. That second moto finish was actually pretty hot. But yeah, solid first race here for the season, Skellige. Bit of a different type of oval, but it produced a different type of racing, and I don't know, wasn't that bad. That second moto especially was really good. All right, so finishing order entirely for Moto 2 is going to be Fireball first, Luke second, Slanch third, Armada fourth, Budrow fifth, sixth is Opix, seventh is Sector, eighth is Roman, ninth Hunter, 10th is Shift, 11th is Atlantic, 12th is Puma, and let's go through the overall. It's going to be Fireball first overall, Slanch second overall, Luke third overall. Points on those guys are 84 for Fireball, 73 for Slanch, and 71 for Luke, and 69 for Armada. Nice. In fourth, and fifth overall is going to be Opix, 64. Sixth overall is going to be Budrow, 62. 60 for Roman in seventh. 56 for Hunter in 8th, 55 for Sector in 9th, 54 for Shift in 10th, 54 again for Puma in 11th. Atlantic rounding out the field, 49 points, 12th overall. And looking forward to this one. I might have to see if Matt's out of the shower. We might have to dual comm this one. Freaking TRS race coming up. This is going to be... It's going to be something. Let me put a stream marker down so I can make the highlights easier. I genuinely already forgot if I put the stream marker down, so hopefully I did. Told you, it's chalked. I'm trying to get through this. That's why I need Matt for the dual comm. You'll probably keep better track of shit than I did. No joke.